Hi everyone and welcome back to a little bit of Path of Exile, solo self-found in Heist League. So, what happened? I took on Cyrus and I failed. We are on Awakening level 5, as you can see. But I failed the fight. There's nothing else I can say about that. It happened. I'm a bit sad about it, but also I learned some good lessons. And that is, like, more than I was expecting out of this, right? It was an experiment to go through solo self-found and try and see how far I can go. And to actually reach Cyrus and deal damage to him as well. I had him down to the last phase, right? So it was close, but it really showed me where my thought process around this build was wrong and where I could improve the build, the gear, everything around it. As you can see, we are just level 91, so we are not that far. Or like, I shouldn't say that. Normally I plan to around level 90. So yeah, I would have liked to hit level 94, I think, to have or 93 actually, to have one more jewel socket, right? Excuse me, that would have opened up an opportunity to get a little bit more of survivability into this. Would it change much? I don't know, actually. I don't have the jewel ready, so I would have to craft it as well. And currency-wise, as you can see, I was burning through currency to get everything we need. The fun fact is we got 2 annulment orbs and actually 5 exalted orbs in solo self-found, and those are all natural drops, right? So without doing heists, that is. So it is definitely possible, and I am curious about one thing though. How long have you played on this? Only 1 day and 6. Oh, so that's only 30 hours on this build to get it to level 91 with a good tree, or like a good enough tree for me for the start, with a good large cluster jewel and a couple of thrown together jewels that we have in here as well, right? So where is the whole experience going to? Now, as I said, I was just frustrated with Trade League. That's why I decided to try out solo self-found and stick to it a little bit longer. We did start with another character. Let's hop over to that one. There we go, our Essence Trained Trickster. And we did pretty decently on him as well. He is on level 89 with the standard ED Contagion tree. Nothing special about this one, guys. That's really how almost every build guide would tell you how to do this build. And we played 1 day and 16 hours on that, right? So that's not too much if you think about it. That's not even 3 days of actual gameplay, all and all together on both builds, right? Or like 3 to 4 days. And you might think, yeah, that's still a lot. Or you might think that's really nothing, depending on how you are having time to play and stuff, right? But for me, that is a decent amount of time, I'd say. And yeah, let's just go on a tier 12 map and talk a little bit about what I would change in this build and what I could have done to improve it. First off, let's start with the obvious. The gear isn't truly optimized, right? The 6th link we found really on the Essence String character while going through some wall side areas was just, yeah, it was there and we were able to use it for this build, but it's not like a really good chess piece that you would say, oh yeah, that's a good find, right? It was just a good find because it was 6 linked with the colors we needed. And we had to do a little bit of trickery to gain the stats needed to use it, so it was certainly a difficult journey to get everything to work. But that's where also a lot of the enjoyment in this league came from, like having to work around the drops you've got, letting them dictate what you are going to try. I would never have built this summoner if we didn't drop that jewel, that large cluster jewel, right? That was a pure accident. And wow, my voice just cracked there. Holy smokes. But yeah, that was just an accident, right? I didn't expect to drop this cluster jewel. I didn't have a build in store around it, and that's what I found very much interesting, right? So I have played a summoner back in Metamorph League on the PS4, and I was like, okay, if I modify that tree a little bit, I can make room for the cluster jewel, and I can try and evaluate what I need to be looking at to make the build work, right? Obviously, the more you play the build, the more you learn about it, and the more obvious will the improvements that you need to take be. So that is definitely something to keep in mind, right? Oh, hey, that's a map, a unique one at that. Quick look at the jewel as well. Where is it? There it is. 28 max life. Actually, not too bad if you think about it. Yeah. So the more I was playing, the more obvious the weaknesses of this build were getting. Like, yeah, we didn't invest a lot into defensive layers, right? The pretty much the only defensive layer we have are our zombies, which are just a big old meat shield in front of us. That's pretty much our defensive as a whole, right? And I was like, okay, I need to do something to get more defensive layers. The first thing, obviously, was to cap the resistances. Chaos is still absolutely trash, but that's not too bad. The other thing I was about was actually getting some armor. So we are on 55% estimated fist damage reduction. That's not too much, obviously, but it helps, right? It really helps mitigating some of the one-shots you will be getting. It absolutely didn't help against Cyrus, though. Cyrus was just too much, absolutely too much damage to be able to tank it with that physical reduction, which is okay, right? That was another valuable lesson learned. So yeah, okay, that's not enough. At least I tried something and I learned from it. So it's still like, yes, I did die against Cyrus. I lost all my portals, but I learned what I need to be looking out for and what I need to be careful about in this fight, and in red maps especially, because yeah, some of the red maps are absolutely easy mode, but some modifiers will completely wreck you. Yeah, that's just the way it goes, right? Damage-wise, I am more than actually surprised. I am over the moon on how well the summoners are doing against high-end bosses here, right? I mean, yeah, was the Lacerate Gladiator outperforming this build overall? Yes, definitely. In the great picture of things, that build was far superior, right? I followed the build guide there, so not much surprise. Always should be better, because somebody really thought about that build. In the great picture of things, he had his own, like, what he wanted to achieve with the build, what he thought was the best gear, the best, like, decisions you could make for the build. So obviously that was like a very, very good build as well. And it was really, really thought through. And will I be able to design such a build? No, obviously not, right? If it comes to Path of Exile, I'm still pretty much a noob, right? Even though I'm nearing my 700 hours playtime, but I mean 700 hours isn't that much if you think about it. So yeah. Do we actually only drop duplicates of uniques? I think we did. That's alright though. That is alright. Whoops. Talk to Nico here, sell off the stuff we have. And yeah, so as I said, I did learn a lot throughout this journey, and I'm glad I took it on me. I do lack the motivation of spawning Cyrus again though. I'm pushing further in solo self-found at the moment. So I'm not gonna do it, right? I just simply will not gonna play more than just casual runs through maps and stuff like that from time to time when I feel it. But I thought it would be nice to talk a little bit about the build and its capabilities before we dive too deep into other games again, like the new Call of Duty or CSGO, whatever it will be, that I will post on the channel. Some more DCS is coming soon as well. But I really wanted to give you guys that were along this journey in solo self-found, that followed the videos that I put out, just so you can have an endpoint of what I was doing, what I was up to, how the build performed and everything. And as I said, I'm very happy how this turned out. And yeah, I mean, as I said, there is room to improve this build. Not sure how I would go about it at the moment. In Trade League, obviously, I would have a good idea. I would get some jewels that really are more specific. Like, sometimes I only have like one stat on a jewel that really helps my build, right? So I would go about fixing that. I would go about getting better gear. But in solo self-found, you really have to roll with the punches, which is enjoyable, definitely. And as I said in so many solo, or yeah, well, in so many, I haven't done that many solo self-found videos, right? But in all the episodes, you have this sentence of me that said, that solo self-found experience really rekindled my love for the game, right? It made me come back and play more when I thought like, oh, at the moment I can't play PoE. I'm just so frustrated. So yeah, that's what solo self-found was for me this league, just like having fun again and play it in my tempo, not thinking about, okay, I need to have certain amount of exalted orbs at this point to get my build rolling. So I was really enjoying this one, and I think it just helped me finding my own pace on how I want to play this game, how fast I want to play it, where I want to take my time. And I think that's the most important thing, right? It doesn't matter if you, I or you, or, you know, if you're slower than me, doesn't matter, right? You have to play the game at your own pace. And I think I was getting a bit too much into playing efficiently, which is something that killed the fun in so many games for me. I just have this tendency to really get into a game, sink hours upon hours into it, finding efficient ways to play it, and then stop playing in like the more relaxed, casual way, right? I'm just going, okay, I need to go hard. I want to have that and that and that achieved on day 1 or on day 2. League launch weekend, I want to be into maps. I want to have red maps. I want to start working towards Cyrus on day 2 or something crazy like that. And with solo self-found, I was just, hey, I will take every act how it comes. If I need certain loot, I will watch out for that. I will take my time. I will loot more. I will be more careful on what I will craft, and I will be more careful which gear I really should keep. And I think, as I said, that helped myself finding the pace that I enjoy the most, and I'm hoping I can stay on that pace in the next Trade League as well. But that is it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, take care. Bye.